Hey Matthew, great question. Thanks for asking. So Matthew's asking, if you have credit cards open that you never use, does it actually lower your credit score? The answer to it is a little bit complicated, so stick with me. Hey, I'm Rachel. I am retired-ish. So that means that I quit my corporate job and now I just work kind of part-time for myself, helping people get their financial shit together. So if you have multiple credit cards open that you never use, you do run the risk of those credit cards being closed. What happens when a credit card gets closed is it might close off one of your longest lines of credit. So in other words, one of the things that they take into account when calculating your credit score is how long they've been tracking you. So it is in your best interest to keep your older credit cards open. And in order to do that, you can just use it to buy yourself a coffee and then immediately pay it off. And that will keep the credit card active. The other thing is, you said if you're not in trouble yet. I don't know if that means if you don't have too much debt, but if your debt ratio is really high, so in other words, if you have, let's say, $10,000 worth of credit limit and you're regularly spending $8,000 a month and just paying it off every month, it's still actually going to negatively impact your credit score because basically your credit utilization is super high. So in other words, if you are a person who is using these credit cards to get the miles, but you don't have a ton of credit available to you, using your credit cards could actually be damaging your credit score. So if that's the case, I would actually recommend opening additional credit cards so that you have more credit utilization available to you in order to reduce the total amount that you're using. Now, this tip only works if you're great at paying your credit cards off every month. If you are trying to rapidly increase your credit score, say you're trying to buy a house or a car, opening additional credit cards is a terrible idea. And I say this because most people who already have credit card debt cannot really trust themselves to not rack up even more credit card debt. If you want to talk to me about your personal financial situation, drop the word GROW in the comments below. Follow for more.